Hey everybody, welcome back to another Daily Drop here on TarHeelIllustrated.com. I'm THI publisher Andrew Jones, and the topic today, Carolina football. We're diverting some from having a lot of videos, podcasts about basketball, because basketball's been the thing lately. We've had plenty of football content, a ton of football recruiting content, both in article form, free and premium, and a load of stuff on our premium message boards at Tar Heel Illustrated. But just, by the way, as a reminder, you can actually get Tar Heel Illustrated for free. And there's really barely anything you have to do. You can do it right now. Put yourself in contention to win free THI in a matter of seconds. First thing you do, subscribe to this channel. If we hit 20,000 subscribers by March 1st, we're going to give away to a couple of people who are new subscribers 2 free years to Tar Heel Illustrated. So $100 value for a year. So that's $200 value. Head on over to our Twitter X handle at Heel Illustrated, no S in the middle, at Heel Illustrated. Just follow us. You will enter into a pool to possibly win free THI there, and then going over to our Facebook page, which is Tar Heel Illustrated. We're looking to get to 12,000. So it's 40,000 by the end of March on Twitter. It's 12,000 by the end of March on Facebook, which we just started focusing on a little more than a year ago, and 20,000 YouTube subscribers. So take care of all that stuff now or right after you finish listening to this, and you will enter into 3 different pools to be randomly chosen to win free THI. All right, so the topic here is Bill Belichick, North Carolina football, handing out a crap load of offers in the month of January. One of the things that I have found very interesting, as time-consuming as it's been, is to sort of chart Belichick's path, which Bryant Balcom is doing this week. He's gone back and he's going to produce some content where we're just going to sort of follow the bouncing Belichick, if you will. You know, these old cartoons, follow the bouncing ball. We're going to track Belichick's paths, his path for the whole month. But it's also the assistants, like Freddie Kitchens spent a lot of time in Florida. Corey Giddings was in Virginia, was in North Carolina. You had coaches all over the place, and you had offers going out well outside of what used to be the map, the recruiting map. Now, to explain that very quickly, to give some perspective, Mac Brown, when he came in, his recruiting map was just south of Atlanta to Washington, D.C. Now, they did go to Tennessee and get some kids, and they would occasionally go outside that map, that footprint, to get some kids. Most staffs do, but that was their main area of concentration. And it worked well. Mac did a really good job recruiting for a while. Some of it dropped off after a period of time because of NIL. Carolina under Mac wasn't as fully dedicated to NIL as it is now. So Belichick has that benefit. And also he has 105 scholarships where Mac had 85 because the scholarship numbers are going up. So Belichick's slapping some more dudes on the book. So he's offering more guys. Okay. So what did this staff do in January that is worthy of a daily drop? Well, how about this? By our count, and we could have missed a couple, and we track every one of these, and we have a thread where every one of these are posted with the bios and all kinds of information on each one of these prospects. The staff handed out 165 offers in the month of January to classes of 2025, 2026, 2027, and even a few to 2028. They did so to players from 18 different states, plus the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C. Now, how about this breakdown? Remember what I just said about the footprint? 33 offers to players in the state of California. Now, this is my 11th year in this job, and we have covered recruiting extensively since before I took over. I don't think they've offered 33 kids combined in the first 10 and a half years I was on this job. And they did 33 in January. 21 in New Jersey. They've probably done 21 in New Jersey since I took over, but not a whole lot more. 12 from the state of Texas. Now, Mack had started recruiting Texas in the last couple of years. He's got a ton of name recognition there, and he was using that to his advantage very wisely. So, and they actually got a commit from Texas before Mack was let go. 41 in Florida. So the re-emphasis, not just in Florida, but in South Florida. Larry Fedora's program hit Tampa and the Panhandle, and they hit Jacksonville pretty hard. Didn't go to South Florida too much down there in Miami area. Mac did a little bit. Larry did a little bit. This staff handed out 41 offers in Florida, 6 in North Carolina. For perspective, now keep in mind, a lot of kids had already been offered by the previous staff. This staff came in, reiterated the offers, maintained the offers. A lot of players didn't feel necessary to go post on social media. North Carolina reoffered. Some did. So I'm thinking that number 6 is probably a lot higher simply because the staff said, yes, your offer is still good. All right, the breakdown by ranking. Now, before I read these numbers, I had a lot of people have reached out and said, what on earth are they doing? Why are they offering all these unranked kids? Well, remember, Bill Belichick has always prided himself on finding the diamonds in the rough, and they're looking for a balance. You've got to have kids that not all of whom are going to have their hand out, because as much as Carolina has increased NIL, they can't pay everybody $1 million or $500,000 or $300,000. He also wants to build have a program mentality, a competitive mentality. So a lot of the players that they're bringing in are Ivy League kids with a lot of Ivy League offers, have service academy offers, that kind of thing. And they think, okay, let's bring these guys in. They can at least be special teams players. They're the kind of dudes that are going to show up early, leave late. They're going to stay at the jugs machine. They're going to get extra lifting in. They're going to help create a culture and a competitive environment. Imagine Rudy with talent. That's part of this mission. All right. So I'm saying that in advance of reading out the star rankings. Of those 165, 4 are 5 stars. Now, before you think that they're only handing out the Rudies, the talented Rudies of the world, 62 are 4 stars. They're going after good players. 42 are 3 stars. 3 are 2 stars. And when a 2-star commits to a power conference team, they usually get elevated to a 3-star in rivals. 54 are unranked. 54. A couple of those kids have committed. Now, some are 2027, and only part of the 2027 class has been ranked so far. The rest will be ranked. The whole class will be ranked by the spring. So I think that number would be different. We come back and look at the number of unranked offers for the year of 2025, let's say at the end of May, I guarantee it'll be a lower number. A lot of these kids will end up being ranked 3, 4-star, whatever. Now, one other thing I want to throw out here is the message, and the message is fascinating. And I think that's part, trying to figure, we haven't had Belichick other than the press conference. So we haven't had Michael Lombardi. We should. They should talk to us. They haven't. We've never talked to Lombardi. We talked to Belichick. Everybody got one question each in the press conference. We need to talk to them to learn more, ask more questions about their approach. So we have to find out from the players. And one of the things that all the players are talking about is that they're pitching not just, hey, you have a chance to make the NFL. If you want to learn what an NFL environment's like, come play for us. They're fancying themselves as the 33rd NFL team. I mean, they want to run an NFL organization at the college level. I don't know if it's possible or not. It would be nice to be able to ask questions, to probe about it, but we haven't been able to yet. We need to. Wednesday's signing day. We should be talking to them on signing day. Spring practice coming up in a few weeks or a month or so. We should talk to them before spring practice, but we'll have to wait and see, because a lot of questions to ask. However, the 33rd NFL franchise is a very interesting approach. A lot of players, it resonates with a lot. And this goes back to the states. offering 33 kids from California. Most people are like, why would a kid from California want to go to North Carolina? Well, they've already had 4 high school recruits commitments from the state of California. Kids want to go there. And what they're pitching these kids is, hey, you could go to college at Southern Cal or San Diego State or UCLA or Texas A&M or wherever. But if the Buffalo Bills draft you, you got to go to Buffalo. If the Bears draft you, you got to go to the Windy City. You cannot choose where you go. So by going far away from home in college and going somewhere in a different climate, you're already sort of preparing yourself for the NFL. Because in a few years, when you want to be in the league, if you got to go to Buffalo, you got to go to Buffalo and deal with it. And that's what some of the kids from California have told us. They've offered a couple of kids from Nevada, from Arizona. They've told us the same thing. And I think that's really, really smart because that's part of positioning the program as the 33rd NFL franchise. So it makes a lot of sense. I think it's interesting. I think it's exciting from a journalistic standpoint because it's something very different to write about, something very different to chronicle. And hopefully we very soon will have the opportunities to ask questions about recruiting that we haven't asked previous regimes because these guys are going about it very, very differently. If you're excited about the way Bill Belichick and his staff are recruiting high school football players, go ahead and click like on this video. If you're excited about a lot of those 54 unranked kids becoming ranked kids, a lot of them are going to be 3 and 4s eventually, go ahead and click like on this video. If you're just excited about Carolina football with all the fresh changes going on, go ahead and click like on this video and make sure that you have not signed up, subscribe. You go ahead and do so. You will enter into a pool to win free Tar Heel Illustrated, free. And you also go over to our Twitter at Heel Illustrated and Facebook, Tar Heel Illustrated. Do the same thing. You can win free Tar Heel Illustrated. I'm AJ, and I appreciate you stopping by.